What up guys, T-Bag here, and today I'm going to use some drum grooves to show you how I write songs. It's pretty simple, it is extremely helpful. I'm using, for drums, I'm going to be using the GGD Get Good drums. I'm going to use the Modern and Massive pack, which is my favorite pack personally. Inside of here, you will go to the full kit. I've got a Yamaha snare, 14x8 birch snare. And then I've got the Tama Star Classic 12x9 rack tom. And then for the kick here, it's got a nice thump to it. I have a Pearl Birch, Masters Birch 22x16. And then for the first floor tom, I have another Tama Star Classic 16x16, and then a Yamaha Custom Birch 18x16. All these sound big and massive like they're supposed to, right? For the hi-hat, I'm using the smaller hats, the MB20 Soundwave hats. They have more of that crispy sound to it, which I really like. Helps kind of cut through the mix a little bit better. I love the way a crispy hi-hat sounds. For the first crash on the left, I'm using the 17-inch Mano Bison's medium thin jazz crash. Another one that cuts through. And then for the splash, I believe it's just a 10-inch that they have, just the one. Yep. That's another Bison's. And then for the ride, I'm using the Mano Soundcaster Mega Bell. I like this one just because it has more of a bell sound to it. And then for the other crash, for the one on the left, I'm using the 20-inch, I believe it's, so the medium heavy crash. Not too heavy, just right there in the medium heavy range, And for the China, I'm using a 20-inch Bison's Brilliant China, which also sounds really nice. Back to the groove player. In case you don't know, GGD is Get Good drums. That's Nolly Get Good. He played bass for Periphery for a while. Otherwise, he's a very well-known producer, engineer that gets a lot of credit, and he's a fantastic engineer. That guy knows what he's doing. He works with Matt Halpern on all of these, and they record samples for everybody, and they sound fantastic. I also have the original one they put out. I don't have some of the newer ones. I do plan on getting it. But these came with some MIDI packs. They came with the Anoop groove packs, the Halpern groove packs, just like a little sample that they put out there. But I went out and I bought DIY punk rock, skate punk MIDI groove packs. These packs, they have that gallop sound to a lot of them, which is really nice that I like. I started off actually putting in some of them that I already really liked. And this is kind of how they sound. Sounds great, right? I want to add more to it. Those I actually got from here. So the intro fill I came from here. I believe that was number 4. So it's number 7 on there that I really liked. And then I also threw in another fill because I wanted to put like a cool bright chord there that sounded cool. Just something with the guitar that I thought might have worked with it. So I went into the fills here. If I'm not mistaken, I'm probably mistaken. That's the problem. That one is... Is that the one? Maybe? Yeah, so number 2 I threw in there. And then I went into the double time grooves. And I believe I put in the second one, which is the, I'm thinking it's the open hats. So I think it's... And then for this one, I threw in the variations, I believe. That fill at the end of it, I threw that in there. Now I want to put something else in there. I want to add more to it. I'm not going to do the whole song right now, but it's just to give you an idea on what you can use these grooves for to help you write songs. I mean, these sound fantastic. And I'll kind of show you how I got them into this point where they're on here rather than in the GGD software. But first, I'll kind of go over what I'm doing for guitar. So for the guitar, I'm using the Mark Holcomb PRS that he had out there, which is, it's amazing. I love this guitar. For its price, it is well worth it. It's got the matte finish on the neck, which is really nice for playing. The Holcomb Burst looks really great. You have his signature pickups in it. Devin from Dearly Departed actually put, I believe, a new nut on his. He might have done something else to it, but he also uses guitar, which is fantastic. I mean, it's worth the money, and the money's not even that bad. It's under $1,000, and it sounds fantastic. For the software for the guitar, I'm using Amped Roots, which is Fluff from YouTube. He has 4 different amps on here that are from his personal collection. I'm using the 5034, which I'm pretty sure is just modeled off the 5150, because it looks just like one. It looks like an EVH 5150. He's got a few presets here. I went into the punk rock preset. When I opened it up, the mid was way low. I turned it up just so the guitar cuts a little bit better, and it sounds really nice. Sounds fantastic. I love it personally myself. Make sure I'm in tune. There it is. I have a chord progression that I want to use for it, which is pretty simple. I can actually play along here to kind of show you what I'm thinking. Real simple. That's what I'm going to do with it, but I want to add more to it. So you kind of hear the double time going on there with the main portion of this whole part. I would like to add like maybe a slower beat there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to here to contact Get Good Drums again. We're going to kind of look around into the grooves. So I'm going to use the skate punk. Let's try normal time, see how that sounds. Groove 1, I don't want closed hats, I want maybe a crash. So let's hear how that sounds. Maybe we'll do groove 2 with a crash. I like that. I'm gonna go with that. So what I'll do is, since it's up here in the currently playing, you'll have to double click on it to play it. You can export it. Now you can't just click export to go. What you gotta do is you gotta click on it, drag it, and you'll see I got this box here that'll come up here. And then it's asking me if I want to import the tempo from in here, which is the tempo that it was originally recorded in, and we don't. We want it to go with the tempo that I have it set in on the session. So I'll say no. It'll pop up there. And what I'll do is I'll kind of play along with it to see how it sounds with the chord progression I have going. So I'm going to close that out, go into here. I'm going to turn on the click because it's a little bit easier to record something when you have a click, as long as you know how to record with a click. That's something, if you're doing this, I think you should definitely focus on. Playing with a click more really helps you tighten up a lot. So let's hear how it sounds. Now we'll just continue it on from there. But I think I want to change up that drum here. So I'm going to add something else to it just to kind of give it a different feel here. It'll be similar, but changing it up a little bit just makes it a little more interesting. So let's go back in here. Go into our grooves. And I was using the Groove 2. Maybe we'll check out, see what Groove 3 sounds like. Go with the open hats on this one. I like that. So again, export. What we'll do is we'll click and drag. Excuse me, a little gassy today. So click and drag that over. We'll make sure that's in. But I want to add a fill on this last little measure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that spot. I'm going to do Command T in Logic here, which splits it. So if I show you up here, it'll be File. Let's see, Split. Regions is Command T. That literally splits that section. So what I can do is I can take that, hit delete, goodbye, and then we'll find some fills here. See if we can find a fill we like. Sorry, it's glitching a little bit because my computer's old. It's been through a lot of hell. It's a 2011 MacBook Pro, so it's almost 10 years old, but it's still surviving. So we'll export that up here. I believe it's a measure long, so it should be perfect. No to the tempo. There it is. Perfect. I like how that goes. So let's hear how that sounds, huh? Pretty simple. And then what you can do from there is you can kind of go into like a little verse part. Maybe it's closed hi-hat stuff, kind of your usual punk song. You got the same beat, same chord progression, but maybe you just decided to do it this way instead. Who knows? Maybe not screw up on the pitch harmonic like I just did, but let's hear how it sounds with the guitar recorded, and then maybe I'll throw some bass on there and kind of show you what I'm doing with the bass as well for software. Easy as that. And then what I'll do is this little part up here that has no guitar. Maybe I'll just eliminate that a little bit. Do Command T, Command T, drag across all of them, hit delete. Oh, there it goes. And then what I'll do is I have up here for my right click a fade tool. And I'll grab this. Actually, I'll select both of them. Fade them both in a little bit. last little section here. So I got my bass. I'm just using a Schecter Diamond series that I found for free, actually. When I got it, the neck fretboard was separated from the neck altogether, and the truss rod was super bowed. So what I did is I straightened it out, glued the neck back down, fixed the truss rod so it's nice and straight, and it works great. It's not the best bass in the world. It's got a crack here as well, but hey, it works. It doesn't sound terrible either. So I'm using the Bass Forge, which is from Joey Sturgis. Great sounding bass plugin. He's got this fuzz on here with that. When you open it, actually, you see this, but there's also a pedal for a fuzz. I'm not a big fan of it. There's so much there. But I have the gain up about, so it's 12 o'clock. Then about 11:30 I have the bass, and about 12:30 I have the mids, and the trebles is sitting right about 2:30, 3 o'clock. There's also this clank here, which is really cool. And this is without it. Adds a little bit extra to it, so I'll put it back where it was. I think it was 66, yeah. And then there's a raise hell, which is a distortion. Got enhanced sub, which is just more bass, essentially. Getting a little more there. For the cab, I'm using the 2x15 with an Audix D6. They also have a 8x10, and he also has a matched cab that he put in there as well. Then you got the RE20s, the DI112 or the D112, the FET47 for microphones, which are great microphones. It's nice to have that variety there. You also have a tuner, so we'll make sure we're in tune here. A little too sharp. Oh, now it says I'm flat. Where am I supposed to be? There we go. In case you didn't know, I'm playing in drop C. I typically like to stay in drop C, D standard type thing. Most of the stuff I can play in standard altogether, I can play in drop C. Unless I need an open string for a chord or something, then I'll go back down to standard. But yeah, so I'll make sure it's harder to tune these low notes, especially on a guitar that's not the greatest. But let's fucking record some bass, huh? Super simple, but it's catchy, right? Maybe I'll take it a little further and see where I want to go with it. But that's basically it. I clicked and dragged the groove I liked into the session, and then I kind of added pieces to it. Maybe changed up the fill a little bit, deleted something, added a fill, which was right here. And then what you can also do is in Logic here, I'll double click on it, and you can actually go in and edit or add whatever you want to it type thing, which is really cool. And then once you do that, I have it set up so my regular click is the pencil tool, and then my right click is the velocity tool. And then what I'll do is I'll hit Command, which is my right click, drag over it, and I can select it, or I can change the velocity. If you look, so we'll go, we'll find something that makes noise. Here, there's the tom there. So when I go down, you can hear it lighter. And as I go up, it's a lot harder. And you'll notice that red is the hardest, purple's the lightest, and it goes from red to blue to green to yellow to orange, or sorry, purple to blue to green to yellow to orange to red. It gets heavier and heavier. Also, one more thing with this too. So let's say I click on this green, which is a lighter color, so it's a lighter velocity. As long as I've clicked on that, the next one I do will be that same velocity. Same thing if I click on this snare that's that reddish orange. Next thing I click is going to be that same color. All right, let's take a listen real quick, huh? That's it, man. You could obviously keep going on from there to create a full song, but that's pretty much it. That is how you would use grooves to help you write some songs. Hopefully that's helpful for you guys. There's other softwares out there you can use it for as well. Easy Drummer, Superior Drummer, Slate Digital, GGD, obviously. They all have different grooves or different grooves you can buy that are just as easy as this, if not easier. But hopefully that's helpful for you guys. Again, I'm T-Bag. You guys have a wonderful day. One more thing, everything that I used software-wise with the guitars as well, I'll have links for in the description, or at least details about them. And then I'll also have Dearly Departed's website listed on there as well. Go check them out. They're on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, pretty much everywhere. And stay tuned for that new music they have coming out, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty sick. They went to a specific studio out in Kansas City just to record it. Check out their Facebook, Instagram, all this stuff. They have some updates about the studio time that they spent there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be pretty sick. Ooh. Yeah. Bye.